This video is summarizing the findings of a joint study that was conducted by the Neary Family Department of Construction Science and Management at Clemson University and sponsored by Job Site Safety Institute. The study looked at carpentry class companies that had a minimum of $100,000 annual payroll in 5 years in the construction business. What we were looking at is to identify the drivers of safety for these smaller companies and benchmark those safety practices for smaller residential carpentry firms. By doing this, we were able to identify company-level factors that influence safety performance. You can see here the range of participating firms. What we were able to do is take the responding firms and group them into a lower EMR firm, which would mean that they have a better safety performance, and then we had those in a higher EMR range, or poor safety performance. The size of the companies, the payroll, and the approximate volume of work were relatively the same. Also, the participating firms did the majority of the work in residential two-story construction. The company-level factors that were explored throughout the surveys and interviews of this study include hiring processes, safety training practices, safety incentive programs, safety culture and climate of the companies, formal safety policies, accident and incident investigation, respondents' personal information. Key findings and related best practices from the study included owner involvement in safety, hiring practices, and structured safety practices. These stood out as the main differentiators between better performing and poorer performing companies in terms of safety. Owner involvement and perception of safety has an effect on company safety. Firms with a better history of safety performance had owners or upper-level management directly involved in job site safety. Those who had a higher EMR often delegated these job site safety responsibilities to field supervisors or other on-site personnel. The related best practices to owner involvement can be summarized in 3 areas. The first is conducting site visits and safety audits, where safety is a priority of the visit. The owner is directly responsible for conducting safety meetings on site, or at least tracking the safety meetings that have happened on site. And 3, the owner is directly involved in making hiring and personnel decisions as opposed to leaving this to lower level management. The second area explored that was identified as a differentiator is the hiring practices. Better safety performing companies typically put a priority on quality and experience of worker. They also did a lot of mentoring and training for lower qualified employees. Involved in this, they made sure that employees were qualified to do the work and able to complete the assigned tasks before allowing them to do so. The related best practices that could be identified with hiring practices include mitigating risk through independent or subcontractors. Companies with a lower EMR often mitigated higher risk activities to independent subcontractors or subcontracted the work out if they did not feel that their workers were safe enough to complete the job or had the skills enough to complete the job. The last area is structured safety practices. Structured safety practices fall into 2 areas: worker competence and training, and safety policies and practices. The better performing companies typically verified worker skill before the task or mitigate the risk by subcontracting the work. They also offered more specific task training based on worker skill, offered site-specific training for hazards more frequently, and had formalized written safety policies. Additionally, better safety performing companies more frequently tracked and investigated accidents and near misses. Lastly, to create a better safety culture in terms of structured safety practices, the following are some considerations. First, conducting formal safety audits. Typically, these are associated with checklists and done daily on specific tasks and equipment. Second, have written and formalized safety procedures and policies. Lastly, targeted safety training that is linked to activities and hazards currently on the job site is most applicable and effective. Additionally, specific task training for workers followed by verification of skill can help ensure that the workers are going to complete the tasks safely. One of the opportunities for improvement that was found through this study is utilization of safety performance and practices by various employees to determine promotion, bonuses, and job assignment. Commonly, in larger industry sectors, the promotion, bonuses, and raises of job site supervisors are directly tied to measures of safety on the job site. This study showed that this is not happening in the residential carpentry sector of the industry. By tying promotions and bonuses to job site safety performance and job site safety practices, it may help create a more positive safety culture and support better safety performance.